What's your passion? What makes you wake up every morning? What keeps you up at night? What values do you believe in? What problems do you want to solve? Lastly, what makes you, you? Hi, this is Jen Kahukom, and welcome to Your Brand, Your Story podcast, where we share stories and conversations about humanness and authenticity. Hi everyone. Our guest for today was crowned Miss Singapore Globe in 2017, and she was also featured as one of the most inspiring women in Malaysia. And that's where she's based at the moment. And she's also an image branding and lifestyle consultant. And she's Singapore's editor for marketing in Asia. She's actually my colleague, and I'm proud of her. And you know what? Let me just share this with you. Her favorite mantra: dress how you wish to be addressed. Love that. She has always been big on dressing well and putting her best face and foot forward. And she is a great believer on living life fabulously, being happy and celebrating oneself every single day. She's, by the way, also a qualified yoga and super yoga kids instructor and has been practicing it for more than 15 years. An uber proud Asian and even proud Singaporean. Friends, let's all welcome Zoo Anjalika Kamis Gunnulfsen. Hi, Zoo.
Hello, Jen. Hi, Jen. Thanks for
Hi.
having me.
Thank you. Thank you for, accepting this invitation. I did pronounce your last name right.
You did correctly. Yes, Gunnulfsen, you did it perfectly, actually. Because not
Okay.
many people can pronounce it correctly. You did.
Oh, thank God. All right. So I'll cut to the chase. Tell us a bit about yourself. I mean, what are you passionate about?
Hmm,
What are the things that you like doing? What are you busy with these days? Tell us more about it.
okay, sure thing, Jen. So, firstly, I am a passionate reader. I am an avid traveler. I'm a people person and I'm pretty goofy. If you know me well enough and long enough, you'll see that I'm really goofy. And I just love all the fabulous things in life. And as you mentioned earlier, also, I'm an uber proud Singaporean, which I am. I was born and bred in Singapore, but consider myself a global citizen. I have lived in a couple of gorgeous cities for the last 15 years, and I'm very, very grateful for that experience. I am a mom of two active boys, Magnus and Eirik, and a wife to the most supportive Viking. My husband is Norwegian, so we call him the Viking. And so he's very, very supportive. And I love being around people. I'm someone who loves to touch and feel and hear and look at the faces of people I'm talking to. So you can imagine, Jen, during the COVID lockdown, how devastated I was because I'm not able to be with people, right? So now I'm happy. The world is opening up again. So yeah, and you, as you mentioned earlier, for work, I am an image branding and lifestyle consultant, and I'm also the news and user-generated content for Marketing in Asia, a digital marketing magazine, where you're also the editor at.
So yeah, tell us more about you. Let's say being a mom briefly. I mean, how was it? Dealing with your two boys and then your husband. I mean, you're the only queen in the family, of course, the lady in the family. I mean, how do you deal with them briefly on a day to day basis? How do you get good vibes on a day to day basis?
Hmm. Sure. As you can understand, having two boys is not easy, right? Because, and also the age difference is very close to each other. Magnus is turning 10 and Eirik, my second one, is turning 9. So the age difference is just 16 months. So it's been busy periods for the last 10 years. And, but the thing is that I've got very supportive husband. He helps me in everything that he can. And I just think that this is going to be a phase that's going to be not is motherhood is not sorry childhood is not a long phase. It's pretty short phase, so you just have to make sure you enjoy every moment that comes with it, even though they're messy and there's certain setbacks that comes with having children, close in age as well. But you just have to take it with a pinch of salt. Yeah, and make use of every day and enjoy every day.
Love the optimism. Oh, I'd like to know. Yeah, I'd like to know more. Let's try to, dig deeper, get more personal. Tell us about a moment in your
Mm,
life where you really wanted to achieve something or have something, but it wasn't
mm,
going to be easy, but you still
mm.
did it anyway.
Hmm. Okay, that's a very good question, actually. I think that one moment is the time when I was contemplating whether to continue my journey as one of the contenders for Mrs. Singapore Globe 2017. As you know that I live in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and to compete, I need to go back to Singapore because that's where all the action is, right? So I need to go back to Singapore to do all the events and the press meetups and all that. So it's not an easy thing, but after discussing with my husband, we decided to go ahead with it, and so I did that, and I'm glad I did it because emerging as the winner of that contest actually helped open doors professionally and personally as well. And after that, I went to compete internationally in China with 72 other nations. That even helped me further in my job and career, as well as I meet like-minded women over there. So it's something that was challenging at the beginning, but I managed to achieve whatever I set out to have in the end. So that's nice.
Amazing, amazing. If I may just ask, what
Mm,
was there any memorable or learning experience that you can share from from that pageant, aside from having to move in order to compete or having to travel in order to compete? Was there any
mm,
realization that,
mm,
because you did say it eventually opened doors for you, right? But then
mm,
was
mm.
there anything that you any moment of realization during that time?
Sure. All right. The first thing I need to just tell listeners out there that people always liken a pageant to be very shallow. But from my own experience, those women I met there on national level, which is Singapore, and international level, all those women over there are intelligent in their own rights. Everybody has got at least a basic degree, and many of them has got masters, a couple with PhD as well. And you just learn resilience from them, how their grit as well, how they get to where they are. And yeah, just meeting like-minded people, talking and exchanging ideas, those are very memorable, and those are very precious to me, Jan, because otherwise, without this pageant, I will not be able to meet those ladies that I met during that period. Yeah. And about opening doors, I mean, of course, everybody being an image and branding consultant, everybody wants to be dressed by a beauty queen, right? So that helps open doors in such a way. So in terms of work, that turns out to be very positive.
Amazing. That's really amazing. And
Mm,
I mean, was it also your plan? Just curious,
mm,
was it also your plan to be an image branding consultant even before you joined the pageant, or you just really
mm,
saw the opportunity
mm.
uh, after joining the pageant?
Sure. So I was an image branding consultant even before that, before the pageant.
Oh, I
But the
see.
pageant, yes, but the pageant happened for two reasons. One thing is that, as we know, I'm very patriotic Singaporean, and I haven't lived in Singapore for 15 years now. So I want something Singapore that comes after my name. So, and the pageant is the most obvious thing because I am too old to join any sporting event. So beauty pageant is the thing is the thing that comes to mind. So I joined it because of that, being patriotic, and the other thing is also because I'm sure it will help open doors for me eventually if I were to maybe even if I were to be top 8, for example, right? And then I still will have something coming up from it, but then I won the pageant, so it's better still.
Inspiring. Now,
Thank
I'd
you.
like to get a little bit more personal, if you will.
Mm,
I mean,
mm,
was there ever a time or a moment when when you felt vulnerable at any point, I
Mm.
mean, can you share with us that moment? I mean, even during the pageant, that's also fine. I mean,
Mm.
and what was the lesson that you've learned when during that vulnerable time?
Sure. So, Jen, I have been vulnerable a couple of times in life, but I just want to share the most recent one. So, it taught me a few things that never once crossed my mind, just because life as I know it was pretty much under control. So, you know about it too, Jen. Last couple of weeks, my husband was down with dengue and was
Yeah.
hospitalized, right? Yeah, and it was the first time ever as an expatriate. I was caught in a particular situation that made me feel really uneasy. Things that never crossed my mind did. Being foreigners in a country, I cannot help but wonder at that time, where do I go if things really escalated to the negative side, right? What do I do? So for a moment, I felt a little helpless. And because it happened during this pandemic as well, so no one from my family or from my husband's family, they're not able to come here to support me. Thank God we have friends, but still, it's very daunting. It's very daunting to have that kind of experience, being away from your family, being away from your home country. So my husband is very okay now. It's just that this episode taught me a thing or two about being prepared should things go not as planned as how he wanted it to be. So I was feeling really, really vulnerable at that time, Jan.
Right. Yeah.
Mm.
It's really interesting, and also, good to learn how, how COVID-19 can teach us more about life. But yeah,
Definitely.
I'm really glad that he's okay now. He's
Yeah.
already recovered. That's really good to know. All
Yeah.
right.
He's up and running now. So he's
Oh,
really okay.
thank God.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
All
Mm.
right. So this time,
Mm.
I want to see. I mean, you being because I learned that you're a yoga instructor, and of course, you're a beauty
Mm.
queen, an image branding
Mm.
consultant, and also, of course, editor for marketing in Asia. Um,
Mm.
these are different hats that you wear. You're also a
Mm.
mother, a wife. I mean, tell
Mm.
us this time about the lenses that you're looking in your life right now. Basically, what is
Mm.
life for you?
Mm. I really like that question a lot. So, life as we knew it is pretty much gone now with the emergence of the COVID-19. So, in place is the new normal, as what we call it now, right? So, there are many things which will never be the same again, but in place, I believe, will be something even better. So, at this point, I'm looking at life through a positive lens. It is so easy to lament and think about the old time and feel sorry about ourselves and wonder what is going to happen going forward. But the way I see it, there's no point regretting or feel bad about anything. Just go with the flow, hustle like you've never hustled before. Be happy. Life is too short to be bogged down with the nitty gritties, and just keep on being positive, because I always believe that positivity will take you halfway to whatever you aim for. So I would say at this point, it's just a positivity lens that needs to be with me all the time in this
Wow.
trying times. Yeah.
I'm really learning a lot from a colleague and a beauty queen. So, yeah.
Yay. Yeah, that's nice to know.
Yeah, true, true.
Yeah.
So now for
Mm.
my last question, and I love this question.
Mm.
If you
Mm.
were to describe yourself in one word, what would that
Mm.
word be?
One word. It's got to be, yeah, there's a couple of words, but I think this one word really depicts me like to a T. I think conscious. I'm always aware of what's happening in me and around me. Um, of my thoughts, of my surroundings. It can be a bit tiring sometimes, but I'm glad I have it, because it allows me to be sensitive to other people's feelings as and when I need to be. And also being conscious means it will help me learn more about people on the whole. Not perfect. I'm not perfect in that, but it's still a learning thing every single day. But being conscious helped me a lot in my day-to-day life. Really, I think so. The word is conscious, really, for me.
Wow, that's really a
Mm,
great insight. And this, whenever I
mm,
ask this question to anyone, not just on my
mm,
podcast, but even
mm,
to other people that I meet,
mm,
this is the first time that I've heard of this. Them being conscious. And now that I think about it,
mm,
when you're conscious, it
mm,
it also leads you to to continue learning about life, to
Mm,
continue,
yes,
improve yourself as well, because you're conscious of it.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
That's how I feel about it as well. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you.
Mm, no
Thank you so much,
problem.
Zoo, for
Mm,
spending this time to do this episode. I'm pretty sure a lot
mm,
of a lot of my listeners on my show are
mhm.
are gonna look forward to this, because as they
Mm.
say, Philippines, they love beauty queens. So
Yes, that's
there you
right.
have
Yeah.
it, folks. Yeah, there you have it, folks. Zoo
Mm,
Anjalika Gunnulfsen. Thank you. Thank you
yes.
so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Jen. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. This has been Your Brand, Your Story. Stories and conversations about humanness and authenticity. And I'm your host, Jen Kahugong. Do you have a story to share? Send me a message by visiting my website at jenkahugong.asia.